on Psalms chapters 41 to 50. Reading from Psalm 41, starting at verse 4. O Lord, be gracious to me. I said, Yahweh, be merciful unto me. Heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee. Verse 9. Yea, mine own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, have lifted up his heel against me. But thou, O Yahweh, be merciful unto me, and raise me up, that I may requite them. By this I know that thou favourest me, because my enemy doth not triumph over me. And as for me, thou upholdest me in mine integrity, and settest me before thy face forever. Blessed be Yahweh, God of Israel, from everlasting and to everlasting. Psalm 42, reading from verse 1. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? Verse 4. When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me, for I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God, with the voice of joy and praise, with the multitude that kept holy day. Verse 11. Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance and my God. Psalm 43, a few verses, I read from verse 1. Judge me, O God, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man. For thou art the God of my strength. Why dost thou cast me off? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? O send out thy light and thy truth. Let them lead me. Let them bring me unto thy holy hill, and to thy tabernacles. Psalm 44, verse 1. We have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us, what work thou didst in their days, in the times of old. How thou did drive out the heathen with thy hand, and planted them. How thou didst afflict the people, and cast them out. For they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand, and thine arm, and the light of thy countenance, because thou had a favour upon them. Verse 20. If we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, I shall not, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, shall not God search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. Yea, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Verse 25. For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our belly cleaveth unto the earth. Arise for our help, and redeem us for thy mercy's sake. You may have heard verse 22. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter, and you read the same in Romans 8:36. This is another example of, unless we are learned in the Old Testament, the source of Paul's knowledge, you may misunderstand his teachings. His teachings must be in line with God's law, not telling us not to keep them. Psalm 45, verse 1, a song of loves. My heart is inditing a good matter. I speak of the things which I have made touching the king. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. Thou art fairer than the children of men. Grace is poured into thy lips. Therefore God hath blessed thee forever. Verse 6. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. The sceptre of thy kingdom is a right sceptre. Thou lovest righteousness, and hatest wickedness. Therefore God, thy God, have anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. Psalm 46. God a very pleasant help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. Yahweh of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob is our refuge. Salah. Come, behold the works of Yahweh. With desolations he hath made the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariots in the fire. Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. Yahweh of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Salah. Psalm 47, reading from verse 1. O clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto God with the voice of triumph. For Yahweh Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us, and the nations under our feet. Verse 6. Sing praises to God. Sing praises unto our King. Sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing praises with understanding. God reigneth over the heathen. God sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. The prince of the people are gathered together, even the people of the God of Abraham. For the shield of earth belong unto God. He is greatly exalted. Psalm 48, reading from verse 1. Great is Yahweh, and greatly to be praised in the city of our God, in the mountains of his holiness. Verse 9. We have thought of thy loving kindness, O God, in the midst of thy temple. According to thy name, O God, so is thy praise unto the ends of the earth. Thy right hand is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion rejoice. Let daughters of Judah be glad because of thy judgments. Verse 14. For this God is our God forever and ever. He will be our guide even unto death. Psalm 49. Why should I fear in times of trouble? Reading from verse 1. Hear this, all ye people, give ear, all you inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. Verse 6. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever. That he should still live forever and not see corruption. For he seeth that wise men die. Likewise a fool and a brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity approve their sayings. Salah. Like sheep they are laid in the grave. Death shall feed on them, and the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty shall consume in the grave from their dwellings. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. Salah. Verse 16. Be thou not afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he dieth, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend. His glory shall not descend after him. Psalm 50. God himself is judge. Verse 1. The mighty God, even Yahweh, hath spoken, and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God hath sinned. Hear, O people, and I will speak. O Israel, and I will testify against thee. I am God, even thy God. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices of thy burnt offerings, to have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he-goats out of thy flocks. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Verse 16. But unto the wicked God saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee? Shalom until tomorrow. Reflect especially on those last words, seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words, i.e. God's law,